Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parveen. Friends, in this video we are going to discuss English grammar, which will be useful for each and every one of you if you are preparing for any competitive exam for that matter. Okay, of course we are focusing all our classes for teacher recruitment exams only, so that's why we have written all possible teacher recruitment exam names here like PST, GPSTR, CTET, of course Karnataka TET, HSTR, KVS, NVS, CRIS, PU lecturer, assistant professor and so on. In fact, I can say that this class is actually the topper's secret class. And if you are preparing for Karnataka TET, then though you can easily score minimum of 8 marks just by watching this video, because we are going to discuss how to prepare and how to attempt comprehension in examination. Along with that, we will also discuss some important topics like syllables, antonyms and synonyms. If you are really a serious aspirant, then this class is a must watch for you. Okay, so in this class what I am going to do is I will be giving you some tips and tricks for comprehension. So each and any exam you take related to a competitive examination, it will have comprehension, right? So that's why I am going to discuss comprehension in this class. Okay, actually this is an intensive preparation class which we will be making for paid class aspirants of a TET. It will be a very lengthy class, but because we thought of helping aspirants who are watching our free classes also, so that's why I am giving you a part of this class which is related to comprehension. Okay, so let us start this class quickly. So in order to solve questions based on comprehension, what is the first tip means? You need to read the questions first, not the passage. Yes, you heard me right. Don't sit and read the passage first, because that will create confusion in your mind and you will also feel scared, because first time reading of the passage is not easy. You will not understand everything in first attempt only. So that's why don't read the passage first. This is the first important tip you should remember. Okay, in the examination and even while practicing in home before your examination also, or while you are preparing now also, try to get this habit. First read the questions, then go for the passage. Okay, and that also when you read the questions and go for the passage, no, at that time you need to scan that paragraph or the comprehension quickly for some keywords which you found in the questions. They can be names of the characters in the comprehension, or they can be numbers, or they can be anything which is repeated itself. Okay, so while reading the passage, don't read the passage in detail. You need to scan that with your eyes very fastly. Okay, then third important tip. See, in the exam they will give you passages which are having background stories with the intention of confusing you. Okay, so those type of passages, what I am telling you is, have background stories which are actually given to confuse you. You need to ignore that type of ornamental lines which are related to that background stories, and then you need to focus on facts. Okay, for that you need to practice a lot, then only you will understand this tip of mine. Okay, now I'll give you some tricks also in order to give the answers to comprehension questions. See, as I already told you, you need to read the question before you start reading the passage, so that you know what you are going to search in the paragraph. This is one important trick you should remember. That's why I gave it in the tip also, and I am giving it in the trick also. Next important trick is that if they are asking a word meaning in the questions list in the comprehension and you don't know the meaning, then what you have to do is you need to read the sentence around that word in the paragraph in the comprehension. So that context will give you 80% clue what the word meaning will actually be there. Anyway, you will have 4 options in the question. By reading the context, you can just guess the exact meaning of that word. Okay, third trick is that you don't need to read the comprehension or the passage or the paragraph to understand the story. Okay, you need to read it to search for the answers. Okay. Meanwhile, gradually you will understand the story also because you are searching it so much. But your intention should be to search the answers given in the question. Then only you can utilize your maximum time. Okay. Now let us apply all these tips and tricks in the Karnataka TET 2024 question paper paragraph of first language English. Okay. Now see this comprehension. I am not going to read the paragraph first. First I will see what is there in question 1. Okay. So the question is the name of the silly little Pekingese of Major's wife. So what are the keywords here? Pekingese, Major's wife and some name is there, right? So here I will again go to the comprehension and scan for the word Pekingese, which is coming first time from the starting of the paragraph. So here I can see the sentence, it was the pet of Major's wife and Chippy did not like him. So what I am observing here, that there is no name given for Pekingese anywhere here, and the only available named character among the options given is Chippy. That's why in 2024 they have given grace mark for this question, because this was a bad question and the correct answer did not exist in the options. So here we should understand that we should be confident also. Okay. Anyway, we need to attempt the question. Whatever you have given answer in the examination, that will lead you to grace mark only, because the question is only wrong, right? Now again I will go for second question. When Chippy fell down and did not move, the Major came to the conclusion. So what are the keywords here? Fell down is there, did not move is there, Major is there, conclusion is there. So I'll go back and scan the passage. I will look only for some important words like fell down or concluded. So I found this sentence, the Major then this concluded that Chippy had rabies. So the answer to this question will be, when Chippy fell down and did not move, the Major came to the conclusion that Chippy had rabies. Okay. Then question number 3. Who came forward to take away Chippy? So here keywords can be offered or take away. So I'll go back to the comprehension and find a sentence again. So an Indian friend of the Major, this offered to take away Chippy. So the answer to this question is Indian friend, as mentioned in the passage. Then coming to question number 4. The Major's wife became hysterical because. Now I have to search for the keyword hysterical. So I will scan the comprehension now quickly to find this word hysterical. So I found this sentence, the Major's wife became hysterical this when the little fellow fell down and did not move. So the answer to this question is the Chippy fell down and did not move. Okay. Next question. Chippy's puppyhood was spent in. So I will scan for puppyhood. Okay. So spent several months of his puppyhood in Scotland. So clearly the question is related to the place, which is Scotland. So that is the answer here. Okay. Now coming to question number 6, 7 and 8. Now these 3 questions are not related to our comprehension directly. See question number 6, syllables in honestly. Then question number 7, opposite of a friend. Question number 8, synonym of surprise. So these 3 are exactly not related to comprehension. You will need to have little bit more knowledge apart from the comprehension to answer these questions. Correct? Now clearly the question is total number of syllables the word honestly has. So here honestly is having 3 syllables. HON is one group, ES is one group and TLY is one group. Now talking about syllables, actually what are these means? When we say a word, we don't say it together at once, right? We break it into beats. We do that in every language actually. In Kannada also we do it, in Hindi also we do it. But here because we are talking about English, I will discuss related to English only. So the syllable is actually, you can say, a single sound beat in word. Okay. So if you have this word student, it is having two syllables. One is stu, another is dent, right? Student. So two syllables are there. Like that only in honestly we have honestly, right? So three are there, right? So this three letters HON come in one group. On, S, ES, again TLY, right? So three syllables are there, right? Like that only for student we have two syllables. So here I want to give you quick trick related to syllable. See, every syllable will have at least one vowel sound. Remember, in honestly also it was there, in student also it was there, right? Vowels are actually A, E, I, O, U, right? So every syllable will have at least one vowel sound. That way you have to make the group, and also you can pronounce it, and also you can decide, right? When you pronounce that particular word, how are you breaking it? That is only number of syllables, right? See here, for example, happy. In happy, I am having two syllables. Why? Because happy. Happy. Hap is one syllable, P is another syllable, right? So in hap, vowel is A. And in P, Y sounds like EE, right? So the vowel sound is EE here. So here the trick I am telling you, in every one syllable you will have at least one vowel sound. In energy also you can see N, R, G. In N you have E, in R you have E, and in G you have Y sound that actually looks like a EEE, right? So E also is there in vowels. Okay, clear, right? But one thing you have to be careful with, the number of vowel letters is not always the number of syllables. Don't get confused, okay? Remember, number of vowel letters is always not the number of syllables. It is not equal always, okay? So you need to focus on pronunciation instead of spelling. Syllables means you need to depend upon pronunciation only, okay? So for example, in read, you have only one syllable, right? Because you are just putting it at once, you are pronouncing it at once, you are not breaking it. You don't need to break it while pronouncing. It is a small word, read, right? In this word you can see that there are two vowels, E and A, but you are not dividing it while pronouncing, right? You are not dividing RE once and AD once, right? While pronouncing, you are just telling it read. So that's why only one syllable is there, even though there are two vowels E and A, the sound is only of E, read we say, right? In boat also, even though there are two vowels O and A, the sound is coming only of O. So that's why one syllable, okay? Beauty, two syllables, because here you are dividing it. Bu is one sound, T is another sound. So there are two syllables here, even though there are three vowels in the word beauty. See this next question of the passage, the opposite of friend is. So the opposite word has nothing to do with the comprehension, but because the word came in comprehension, they are asking you the opposite. So opposite of friend means you should be knowing the meaning of friend, right? Right, Snehita in Kannada we say, in Hindi we say dost, right? So what is the opposite of friend? It should be enemy only, right? So enemy should be the correct answer here. Now understand that opposite words are also known as antonyms. I want to give you some quick tricks in order to give correct answers related to antonyms. In order to give a antonym or a opposite word, you need to understand the word's meaning first, okay? In case you don't know, then go to the paragraph and guess from the sentence in which that word is coming. Guess it from the paragraph or the comprehension, okay? And then you can also do one thing. If you don't know anything, you go for the options from the question and you eliminate similar meaning words first. So the remaining option will be antonym only. So that is another way of giving correct answer if you don't know it already, okay? So remember, every time you learn a new word, you need to note down the opposite word also. So this is the best tip related to antonyms, okay? So here I am giving you a list of antonyms so that it will be easy for you. Some very commonly used words I am giving. I am giving in English also and in Kannada also and in Hindi also. So you can see here, big. In Kannada you call it dodda, right? Bada. What about the antonym for big? It is small. Means dodda means sanna, bada chota, right? Happy. What is the meaning? Santosha or khush. Right? So what will be the antonym? Sad. Dukha. Dukhi. Fast means vega in Kannada or tez in Hindi. What is the antonym for fast? It should be slow. Nidhanavagi or dheema. Right? Good. Olleya. Acha. What is the antonym? Bad. Ketta. Bura. Adamant. Adamant means hati, ziddi, stubborn we can say. So the antonym will be flexible. Bagguva, lachila. Okay, means flexible. In Hindi, lachila means it is flexible. Then we have this very important word, benevolent, dayalu. Dayalu means merciful person, which is who is very soft, who is having mercy. What is the opposite of benevolent? It is malevolent. Krura. Krur. Okay. Then diligent, another important word. Parishrami, mehnati, and the person who is working very hard is diligent, you can say. So what will be the opposite of that person? He will be a lazy person, right? Lazy, somari or alsi we say. Next, this must be a new word for you. Frugal. In Kannada, the meaning is mitavechada or mityai. Frugal means actually that person who is very careful with the money and resources. That person is always avoiding unnecessary spending money, or he is always saving the money. So that type of person we call him or her as a frugal. Okay. Now the person who is spending more money, you can call him as extravagant. This extravagant is antonym of frugal. Okay. And in Kannada you call it ativechada and fizul kharch. Okay, fizul kharchi karne wala is the person who is spending lot of money, and you can call him as extravagant. Okay. Next important word, optimistic. Ashavadi. Ashavadi means the person who is thinking positively, and the person who thinks negatively we call him as pessimistic. Nirashavadi. Okay. Then we have scarce. Scarce means aparupada, durlabh. It is not easily available. It is very less in amount, you can say. So what will be the antonym for scarce? It should be abundant, right? Samruddha or prachur. Okay, clear, right? So this was all about antonyms. Now there was another question related to synonyms, right? So what is that question actually? The question was the synonym of the word surprise is. So what is actually synonym? Synonym means meanings. Okay, it should have same meaning, means you call it as a synonym. So how do you improve your synonyms? First you need to read a little every day. You can use newspapers for that. You need to make some short sentences with new words, and then you can remember that list easily if you are writing down. So for that particular word you need to know what is the meaning, what is the opposite. You can also play some word games with the kids in your home. You can play some crossword puzzles. You can also do some word matching games, etc. With that also your synonyms will improve. Okay. So for this question you can see the options: happy ending, the event in progress, an event that is unexpected, show mercy, surprise. You all know it, right? An event that is unexpected. If you are surprising your friend, means your friend doesn't know what you are going to do to her or him. If there is a birthday party, maybe something that birthday party is not known to the birthday girl only. So you are giving surprise by arranging a party for your friend. Okay, that way it is. So I am giving you list of synonyms also, so that things will become easy for you. You can make many more, but some important ones I am giving you here. Brave. What is the meaning of brave? Dhairyavanta, Bahadur, right? In English, the meaning of brave can be courageous. That is again same word, Dhairyavanta, Bahadur you can say. Okay. Just I am giving you different words here. Bahadur and Sahasi both are same only. Simply I am giving some different words so that some aspirants will be able to relate with the different words. Okay. Quiet means Shanta. Silent. Okay. Maun you can say. Clever. Buddhivanta. What will be the synonym? Smart. Weak means feeble. Durbala. Kamzor admi we call, right? Weak person. So the meaning for a weak person or synonym is feeble. Feeble. Okay. Angry. Furious. Rich. Wealthy, Srimanta or Amir. Hard, Kathina, Kathin, tough. beautiful, sundara, sundar, or attractive or akarshak. Okay, generous, udara or udar, kind hearted person. Tiny, ati dodda, or chota, or small. Now we hope that you have understood everything about how to deal with a comprehension. So we really hope that this class helps you. Now, as I told you, this is going to be a very lengthy class, but we wanted to help free class aspirants. That's why we are giving this much part to free class aspirants in our YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parveen. Now rest of the class will be given to the paid class aspirants. Okay, thank you, all the best, bye.